So we're into part 2 of the Adelson Act, Charlie Maestro Adelson. But before I start, quick disclaimer, my name's Dawn, this is Lounge Bar Crime. Everything you hear in this video is from my own research, it's my opinion, and it's for entertainment purposes only. That out of the way, let's get to it. So we know that this title that Charlie's got, it's a self-proclaimed title, this Maestro title, and this is from his car license plates a few years back. I think in the Adelson family there's only one Maestro, and that's Wendi. In fairness to Charlie, I think we've got to give him some marks out of 10, because at times he does show potential, not for being a Maestro, but he's onto a few things. He does work a few things out for himself. So, just for instance, when he was in the restaurant with Magbanua, he did say to her, just let me read it, he did say to her, if they bug your phone, he's still not talking about any of this. He's more or less saying to her, keep your gob short on the phone. And then he says, this is after the bump, don't forget, you throw smoke grenades and all the cockroaches run out. So it is like he worked it out there. I was quite impressed with him that he'd worked that out. But he actually thinks, like Magbanua thought she could lie her way through it, he's doing exactly the same and thinking that Rushborn is going to get him out of this. Rushborn's not going to get him out of this. Rushborn is already making himself look not too great, let's put it like that. He's up and down the way. I mean, I've said about him being a charmer, I think he's already like showing signs of buckling already. Anyway, I don't want to go down that lane with regards to Rushborn because we're talking about Charlie, but I was impressed that he'd worked that bit out with regards to bump. So we already know, well, I think I know anyway, that Wendi is the Maestro in all this, not Charlie. And also, you know where they've blown it out of proportion? Charlie's like a professional by day and a gangster by night. Yeah, just listen to him here where he's given that telephone number by his mother and he's got to call that number. And he's speaking to this gangster, he thinks.
Hello?
Hola, diga. Hello, diga.
Hi, who is this?
Who's this?
Someone's been calling my family. I'm trying to figure out who this is.
In reference to what, man?
Someone by the name of Sammy called.
Yeah, that's me, man.
All right, what's going on?
Well, what's going on is my brother Tato. Okay, my brother Tato has not been taken care of. His family's not been taken care of. I talked to a dentist. Why are you calling me? Who are you? I gave the number to a lady.
I don't know Tato.
You don't know Tato? I'm
No.
sure you know Katie and Tuto. They've been taken care of since the family problem been taken care of up north.
I don't know who these people are.
You don't? Well, this
No.
isn't going away, my friend, because let me tell you something. I was at Broward with Tato, and he told me the whole story. He told me nobody was taking care of him. Nobody was taking care of his family. The family was taking care of Katie and Tuto, and nothing's been taken care of with Tato. So we know what's going on. And Tato needs to be taken care of. Do the right thing. The lady already has the paperwork. She knows what I'm talking about. We know Katie. We know Tuto. We know they've been taken care of.
All right, let me look into things.
No more fucking around, man. No more fucking around.
He sounds like he's being eaten alive, and I wouldn't mind the person that he's speaking to isn't even a gangster themselves. So could you imagine if it had been somebody like Sigfredo or something like that, or if he had got hold of him, or Rivera, he wouldn't stand a chance. he wouldn't stand a chance in that environment. So I don't know why he tries to make out to his sister or his mother well, I think he's wasting his time with Katherine, because Katherine knows the difference between a Charlie Adelson and a Garcia. There's a massive difference. But yeah, Charlie likes this title. Like he tried to make out to Jeffrey Lecas, that is a man that can get things done. And the only gangster between all of them is Katherine Magbanua. She's the gangster. When they start talking about carrying a gun, Charlie Adelson says that a lot of times that he carries a gun with him, and he starts going on. I mean, like if somebody comes up to me, and Katherine Magbanua interrupts, and she says, I have mine right next to me, and it's inaudible then. You don't know what she's talking about. But then Charlie Adelson says, you're carrying yours on you right now. Words to that effect. And then he goes, I mean, I'm going to start carrying one on my back, like, in one of them holsters, on your back. So he's talking about, I've got a gun and everything. And then she just spits out, like, just like that. Oh yeah, I have mine right now. I don't know whether she was saying right next to my bed, carrying it right on there. Don't know. But there was him, acting like the hard man, acting like the gangster, and she just spits it straight at him. Oh, like I carry mine around. He talk about out of his depth. I mean, he was out of his depth being a dentist, because from what I can gather, I'm not even sure if he did all the exams and qualifications right. Didn't he know somebody on the inside through the board that got him in? I'm not 100% on that, but I'm sure I've read something like that. So, I mean, all in all, he's been carried. He's not a gangster. He's not a maestro. Wendi's the maestro. Magbanua's the gangster. He's not any of them things at all. And these are all self-proclaimed things that he acts out to be. The other thing I think with this maestro thing is as well, I think it's almost like self-validating, to his parents, not his father, Donna, his mother, that unhealthy relationship that they have, definitely unhealthy that, and maybe also to his sister, because it has been said as well that he was no match for Dan Markel academically. He was not in the same league at all. And I think it's like walking around, isn't it, with a sign saying, I'm clever, I'm clever, And it's as though getting his registration plates with Maestro, it's as though that's what he's trying to do. So he's just like self-validating, everything about himself. He's smart, he's this, he's a gangster, he's all these things, when he actually is none of these things at all. He's basically very basic. He had his own place, but from what I can gather, he spent most of his time with his mother. What guy in the 40s, if he doesn't want to be with, if he wasn't with Magbanua or June, by the sounds of it, he was with his mother, unless he was going off on one of them trips where the young girls were. But that was like the basis of his life. So it's not like I'm not saying he has to be married and settle down with a kid, although he has got a child now, hasn't he? But I'm not saying you have to be, he had to get married and settle down with a kid or anything. But like when I go and visit my son, he's practically got the clock on, timing me how long I can be there for before I have to go. I'm only joking. We've got a great relationship, but you get what I'm saying. Like, Charlie was like, it's as though he treated his mum like one of his mates. But it has been said as well, hasn't it, that he was always trying to please her, and Donna, she seems to be as well never happy unless they're top of the class, they're getting the best. Yeah, they've always got to come out on top. Well, that's not going to happen now, is it? So, yeah. when I look at Charlie Adelson in court, I think he's I think he's quite embarrassing, to be fair. Just in some of the way he acts. If you look at not the last time he was in court, the time before, when they had the proffers and they had the sidebar. I'll play a bit of that for you, actually. You can tell he just all he wants them to do is turn that sidebar down. He knows that they can, everybody can hear all that.
Still using the crutches, huh?
Well, not really. I'm just being careful.
Okay.
Yeah. My concern is there's going to be, I'm sure, requests under the Sunshine Laws for a copy of the proffer.
Right. If there is a copy, which I don't know.
I don't need that point.
There is, yeah.
Okay.
What we talked about doing is getting close to being ready to do that, like if it happens.
I would like to seal it until after the trial. Here's my reason why. And it's supported under law, supported under Florida Freedom Newspapers versus McCreary.
Okay.
And I can provide the court with these cases, a couple cases. We're gonna have a problem with the jury pool as it is.
Right.
With 2 trials and the media attention that this case has gotten.
But this is how Charlie is so full of himself. I don't know if this is me reading into anything here or not. I'm not too sure. But at the end of this hearing, George Kaffleman has to go over to Rushbourne's colleague. She just has to walk over there, and it's practically time for Charlie to leave. And he's listening to Rushbourne, but he's also looking over at Georgia Kappelman, and it's as though he wants to try and make eye contact with her. And I'm thinking he's so much into himself. I don't know if in his head he's thinking, if I can just like lock eyes with her, she might go easier on me. But he's listening to Rushbourne, but you can tell he just wants to turn round all the time and look at George Kappelman, who's just like stood there. She's not interested in you. She's going to send you down for as long as she can. If you're still watching this video, it must mean that you're interested in it, even if it's just a tidge a little bit. You know what I'm going to say? Press that tidge like button below. Also, when Charlie Adelson gets his telephone number off Donna Adelson, off his mother, to ring this number and find out what they want, because they're being blackmailed and all this, and he's arguing with Magbanua to make the call. You better sort this out. This needs sorting out. He's not talking about sorting anything out. It's pretty clear. He tells her to get this sorted out, and she actually says to him that she was helping. I was helping you guys out. She was saying, I was helping you guys out. You guys. That's not like saying I was helping you and Wendi out. I was helping you and your mother out. You guys is a few. I think if it was 2 people, you'd say I was helping you and Wendi. I was helping you and your mum. He more or less tells her that somebody else might have to get killed, and she's like backing off. So it's obvious where the orders are coming from, which direction it was coming from for Magbanua. I mean, we don't know whether because we don't know. It's speculation whether they were all talking about it and she's offered. I think that could be very likely that she would do that, but the seed would have been planted. The seed was planted well down the line, and that seed was planted before even Katherine Magbanua was on the scene, so far as I'm concerned, by Wendi. And it was Charlie Adelson that watered it, and Donna that watered it as well. And I think, as I've said in another video, Jeffrey Lacaz, I think he was, they tried to work out if he'd be involved. He didn't show any kind of interest in being that type of person, whereas Katherine Magbanua did. So, yeah, and then from there, that I think that's the direction that it's gone in. But I don't think for 1 minute that there's any gangster in Charlie Adelson whatsoever, and there's certainly no Maestro. I think, as I've said, at times he's shown potential, but he's not got the makings of any of this. He talks the talk and he passes the buck and he gets things done with ka-ching. There's nothing. I mean, I don't think he's got the balls. Excuse me. I don't think he's got the balls to go out and to have done any of this himself. He's had to get his stapler out and staple the dollars together to get all this done. When I did the previous video to this with regards to Charlie Adelson and the proffer and the continuance, quite a few people was asking about the WhatsApp. I'll just show you here. It was what Roshborn said, that these were all the documents and all the discovery information that he has to go through, which is why he wanted the continuance, and the WhatsApp was included in that. Now, so far as I'm concerned, that I don't think that would have been included if there was just something or nothing. So I believe they've got quite a bit, or a lot more, on the WhatsApp than what we know about so far. I'm saying Charlie Adelson's no Maestro, but I'm getting to think maybe he is. I mean, he gets into being a dentist by any means that he can. Not the right way, from what I've heard, from what I've read. He ducks and dives, and is like a travelling dentist, from what I can gather. He earns most of his money, or a lot of his money from stocks and investments and things like that. So he's got claims going through for his back so that he can retire early. Like, he had it all worked out. Do you know what I mean? He's got everything worked out. So, well, he thought he had. But, yeah, can't just do what the rest of us do. You know, got to try and make a quick buck, get in and get out. And that's his way. The thing that I was going to say about Harvey is, I think, or I'm wondering whether, when it comes to Harvey, whether they're going to make out, or he's going to make out, that there's something wrong with him, you know, because he's getting a bit older. He's in his 70s. Not that old, but I just wonder whether it's going to be like, oh, you know, that slipped my mind. Yeah, I'm on the verge of Alzheimer's. I've got, you know, the onstart of Alzheimer's. I wonder if he's going to go down that lane, just like Wendi did with his brain cancer, or his brain tumour, which didn't exist at the time she said it did. So I just think that they're going to do that. The other thing is, on this, look, I know Georgia Kappelman is trying to, you know, she's got to set out a stall and do this the right way, because she's got to get them, and there's nobody more than me that said that all along. But I just think, personally, I just wonder now whether there's another way they could go around this, because and I know she's aware, I know George Kappelman is aware of this, but Dan's parents are suffering, his sister's suffering, and I know they've got to get everybody. I just think that they should just go and get Wendi and Donna. I know they want to do it in some kind of order, and I know that they've got this plan, and I know probably I'm going to get messages saying, you know, they can't do that because they've got to do this and they've got to do that. I know they have, but I'm just thinking that under the circumstances, I just wonder, or just think that they should readdress it and just maybe go around this in some different order, because if it's going to take this long with Charlie, then you've got Donna and you've got Wendi and you've got Harvey. So what are we talking? And what, another 5 years or something? Can't carry on like this. They should get Donna, do that connection, and then go for Wendi and Harvey, and just get this wrapped up. But I've got a feeling that they're not going to do. I've got a feeling that this is going to go on and on. And I've got a feeling that that Maestro, as he calls himself, is going to sit there like one idiot that he is. He's not going to drop his mother in it, and she doesn't expect him to. As I've said before, she expects him to sit there and to do his time. Now, she's seen him. She's seen what he looks like. I mean, look at him. He looks absolutely chronic. And most mothers at her age, I think a lot of people got me wrong on this and all when I said, why doesn't she just take the rap for everything? A lot of mothers in the late 60s by now would, and they've got 2 kids there. This all came about because she was so bothered about her grandchildren and her daughter keeping them. So she's that bothered. Why didn't, and them being with the mother, why didn't she just put herself forward and say, you know, I this was my doing. I did all this. I hired Garcia Rivera. I hired them both. Nothing to do with Wendi, nothing to do with Charlie. And just go to prison, Donna, and do your time. Or do time for your kids. Because most mothers would. Most mothers would die for the kids. But no, you won't even go and sit in a prison for them. And she is looking at Charlie there, who spent, from the looks of it, half his life trying to be a mummy's boy, trying to please her, trying to be the big I am, and she didn't give one shit about him. Not one. Yeah. She don't care about him at all. So all of this was all for Wendi. Wendi don't care about him. Wendi's sat watching him at home, and yeah, she's seen her brother like, oh, well, I was going to say waste away. I don't mean waste away. I'll tell you what, I did read it. Somebody said in my comments, and I quite agreed. And I didn't say it in the last one because I thought I was probably reading into things too much, but I can't remember the wording, but it was something to do with Charlie Adelson and thyroid. It looks like hyperthyroid or hypothyroid and everything. He does look like he's got a thyroid problem, but I did actually think that before he ever went in prison. I don't think he's got like this. He's got that since he's been in prison. Who cares? Who cares what he's got? Nice in it that he can have an illness and still be living, because Dan Markel isn't. Right, I'm gonna sign off. Yeah, I know that I've probably missed out loads on this with him being a maestro. If you get any other snippets that you think of, put them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you want these updates. I'm also be covering other cases. I'm now on Patreon, Twitter, all that as well. But yeah, press that like button. It helps the channel out. Good night, stay safe, and come back. Bye.